Hello everybody. In this screencast we're going to look at static table view cells. So basically static table view cells are table views that the rows are static. The number of rows, the number of sections is static. Nothing is being created dynamically. It's basically the number of rows and sections is static. So you already know the number of rows and sections. When is this actually beneficial? Is when, for example, we have application settings, help pages, forms in some cases also are used, use static tables or static table view cells. Now, how do we do that? In order to have a static table view cells, you need to have a TableViewController. So let's start by adding a TableViewController. So here's the TableViewController, your app. So you have a TableViewController. Okay, here it is. And this table view has a table view inside it, right? So we click on the table view, you click on its properties, and you can look at the content types. Now it's dynamic properties, make it static cells. And once you make it static cells, you could see it starts with 3 cells. It gives you 3 cells. Actually, if I make this one the initial view controller and run it, you'll see that you get a table view that has 3 cells. Predefined, you don't need to have a data source, you don't need to have a delegate, it's automatically taken care of. So here it is, you have cells already. Okay, so now what we could do also even is that each cell is treated differently, so or you can customize each cell separately. Also at the same time, if you go to the table view, okay, you can add more sections. So now you have 2 sections, 3 sections. So let's give them 2 sections. Or if I want to change the number of sections, I just go to the table view, I can reduce the number of sections to 2. Or I can go to the left here and just click delete, or press on delete, and it just deletes the section. You click on the section, you can make it different. So I could make this one as phone settings, and I can make this the other section, let's say help, right? So we can add, and let's make the help one only 2 rows, okay? And the phone settings, or let's make the help one 1 row, or the help section 1 row, and the phone settings one will make it 2 rows. Okay, so now we can even run it. You'll see that you get your settings page. Here it is. You can even go here and we can embed in, just to make it look a little bit better. Editor, embed in, navigation controller. Okay, we don't need this view controller anymore. You have a navigation controller. Now when you run it, you'll see that there will be a navigation bar and so on, and you have your settings page. Okay, we can go here and give it a title. Okay, so it's called settings now. Okay, when you run it, okay, or we just add the title here. Here it is, we added it, and you have the settings page. Very nice. So now let's add some settings. So basically part of these settings is, say for example, I want to change my network, right? So we'll go here, I'll add a label. The phone settings, I want to change my network. So I'll go here, I'll say network. Alright, so here's the network settings. Okay, now I want to indicate that when you click here, you're going to go into deeper, or you're going to go somewhere else to change the network. So if you look at if you select the cell, and if you look at the accessories, one of them is called the disclosure indicator. When you go here, you can see that there is a small symbol that appears on the right of the cell. When you run it now, you'll see that here it is. You have network settings, right? Let's add, for example, here airport. Let's say we add airplane mode, right? So we go here. Here we are. And this is, I'll name it airplane. Okay, so are you in airplane mode or no? So in that case, we'll need a switch. Okay. Here it is. Add a constraint, right? And we just make it vertically into the center, and we run it. You'll see it will look like this. Here it is. You have the phone settings, you have airplane modes. Okay, now definitely we don't want to show these clicks. So basically what I could do is I could go to the table view and say single selection, no selection. So nothing is going to get selected. When you run it now, you'll see that selections are not going to happen, or at least appear. All right, see here, network settings, something is happening, but you don't see it. Okay, but you see you could change it from airport mode, not airport mode. And then similarly, we can go to the help section and add a label. Right, let's add a label. All right, we go here and add the help here, and I'll say, for example, general help information, right? And similarly, I'll select the table and the cell and add the disclosure indicator and so on, right? So now we added all of that. Now we can add other view controllers that you could see now that I can transition to, right? So I could say view controller. So now I can go here, and then that becomes my phone settings. So I just select the cell, control and drag and show, and it will create a segue when you click on that cell. So you see here, when you click on that cell, it will move here. Very nice. Now I can add another view controller, okay, for the help. And go here and general information, you select the cell, okay, control, drag, show. So that one will respond to the other cell, right? Now just for your information, so let's go here and just add the title for this view controller. Let's add this title, we'll call it network settings. Okay, and then this one, the title is general information. So now when you run it, you will see that you have your static cell, you have your static table. Click on network settings, okay, and it should transition to so the selections are not working, that's why it's not happening. So basically, let's go back to the table, right? And let's say single selection. Now the selections are going to happen. So I'll go run it again. Okay, when you click on network settings, you see it goes to the transitions, and you go look at general information, it goes to the next settings. Perfect. So you could see that we are transitioning. You have different segues that respond to different tables. Another thing to pay attention to, now if you want to respond to this click, if you want to change this value to make it active, inactive, or when you want to respond to it, to it changing, you need a file that is associated with this TableViewController. So in order to do that, you have to create your own custom TableViewController. You create a new file, so you create a new file, and that file is CocoTouch class, and it's a TableViewController, right? It has to be subclass of TableViewController. Click on next, create it, okay. Now, once it's created, you go in here, delete all the commented parts and these overridden methods, okay. And here it is. You have your TableViewController. Let's go back to the main storyboard, and then we are going to indicate that this view is TableViewController, right? Now, when I click here and then click at the assistant editor, it will connect me to this class. Now I can wire up things from specific cells to the class here. So basically I can go to this selector or this switch, go from here, put the switch. I could say airport mode switch, right? Here it is. Here's my switch. And I can also go here and add an action when the switch changes. Okay, action, airport switch changed. Okay, perfect. So now what I could do is, let's say when the app starts, I want to make that switch to be off or on, right? So I could do self dot airport switch dot, okay, so basically is on, determines if it's on or off. Or I could make it a set on, okay, to false, okay, and I can make it animated to true. Yeah, I make it animated. I want it to be animated. So basically I'm going to set it to false. So when you run it, where is my emulator? Here it is. Okay, so when you run it now, you can see that I can respond to this click. So basically when it runs, it's off. Okay, now let's say we print here switch state changed to dot switch airport mode switch dot is on. Okay, so we run it again. You will see now whenever I click, there'll be a message that's being printed. Okay, clicked here, it changed to true, changed to false, changed to true, changed to false. You could see I can respond to specific events, and you could see that I did not have to implement any data source or delegate. It's already taken care of, and because it's static, I can respond to clicks to a specific component inside the cell. I hope this was useful. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.